Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Jess Hilarious is on maternity leave. So we got Lauren LaRosa filling in, and we got a special guest in the building.
Our guy.
The founder and CEO of Fanatics, and he is doing a Fanatic Fest this weekend at the Jacob Javits Center this weekend. Saturday and Sunday, your favorite athletes, artists, celebrities will be in the building. You can get things autographed. They'll be selling merch, and it's perfect because I'm doing my car show this weekend, so there's a lot of things to do. They can go to your car, my car show, your Fanatic Fest. But ladies and gentlemen, Michael Rubin, welcome.
Glad to be here.
How you feeling?
Always love being here. Feeling great.
Why did your voice change? You did not sound like that before the mic came on. What is that, your announcer voice? Glad to be here. What was that?
I'm ready for my announcer voice. Let's go, man.
Listen,
I'm trying to get like an overnight job with you guys here. Maybe you guys can put me like 2 to 4 a.m. or something.
It's a fight, okay?
Well, we can
get a job here.
You think I can do 2 to 4 a.m.?
We can't afford to pay Michael Rubin.
Yeah, I was about
What
to
do you
say.
mean? I'm like free labor. Let's go.
Oh, now you're talking. Now you said I forgot something. What did I forget?
It's actually Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Oh, Friday, Saturday, and
Yeah,
Sunday.
what are you? Is the car show big on Friday?
It's just Saturday. My car show's just Saturday.
Okay, I thought you were trying to like kill off competition.
Oh,
on Friday.
no. Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
No, we're pumped for this weekend. This is really exciting. You know, for me, New York's my favorite city in the world to kind of do something that's never been done. There's really not a sports festival anywhere in the world.
Never I've seen.
And you have this. When we think about this, you have so many other festivals. You have Comic-Con, which takes over New York City, gets 250,000 people.
That's right.
You've got Complex Con, which I'm going to go to in November in Vegas. You've got all the music festivals. You've got South by Southwest. And I don't know why no one's ever done this in sports. You've got the trading card shows, which they have 1,000 of in the country. But I went to a trading card show. There's a big trading card show called the National, which gets 150,000 people.
Is that the one in Atlantic City?
It was in Atlantic City a couple years ago.
Yep.
It was in Cleveland a few weeks ago, so it changes cities each year. And you walk in there, you're like, this is nuts. There's 150,000 people, but it looks like when I went to high school. So it hasn't really changed since like the 90s. And so I basically went to Comic-Con in New York City and said, we got to do the same thing for sports. So this is going to be our first time doing it. Javits this weekend. We're going to have like 200 of the best athletes, celebrities, artists coming through. All the leagues are coming. I mean, you got Tom Brady's going to be throwing footballs to kids for an hour on Friday. KD and Ant with their Olympic medals coming in Saturday. They're going to be playing basketball with kids, football with kids. You've got, I actually last night said, this is nuts. I actually have a bunch of NBA players call me and say, hey, can I play basketball? Can I play football with kids? Like normally you're trying to get people to come do these things. And we got the best streamers in the world coming. And we've got so many of the big streamers. We've got Aiden Ross coming, Drewski coming, Sketch coming. We're going to announce a few really big additional streamers that are coming. So, like, to me, just to bring everyone together is awesome.
What is Fanatics Fest exactly, though? Like, what is it?
It's just a giant sports festival.
Okay. Celebrating sports?
Yeah, it's just, for me, it's like, what would you want every sports fan to dream of doing if they could just not be at an actual sports event and come? So you've got, like, NFL will be there, and you can, see all the Super Bowl rings since they've had the Super Bowl, all the Lombardi trophies.
I see Tom Brady, Eli, and Peyton. Is that true?
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Now, how does that work? Because I seen them sign an autograph. So you can buy an autograph signed jersey there? Or they just win jerseys?
So I think for Eli and Peyton, you can sign up to either get your picture with them, and you can pay to get your picture with them, or an autograph. Tom's just coming in. Tom's going to be interviewed by Stephen A. Smith on the main stage. Then he's going to be doing football with kids. I think he actually wants to walk around and look at trading cards because he's really into trading cards. So he'll be there all day Friday. I'm sure you guys know we're popping up the 40-40. I expect to see you guys there this weekend. Jay's going to be hosting it all weekend, which is going to be nuts. And, Jay called me and said, look, I love 40-40. I want to do something special. Why don't we set this up for people that are important to him, people, the athletes and celebrities that are coming through to support us, our most important gamblers. I think you guys know Jay and Dez own part of our gambling business. And so, it's kind of, you think about having like Jay-Z hosting 40-40, Travis Scott, Quavo, bunch of other artists that you guys, all spend a lot of time with, but then having, guys like Brady and Peyton and Eli and lots of other football players, and having KD and Ant and AI and Julius Erving. Think about
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, really?
Yeah, he's coming.
Mike Tyson?
Yeah, and Jake Paul. They're doing I can't wait for that. I was just with Jake at the Olympics. I could tell you, if he looked like he looked at the Olympics walking out of the bar we walked out of at 5 a.m. in the morning.
Don't say it.
I don't know. I could be worried for him, but I called to make fun of him yesterday. I said, "Yo, that did not look good." For you.
I thought you were gonna say
drunk?
he got Mike Tyson.
No.
But that's what I said. Don't say it.
He walked out. There was very funny videos of him online stumbling out of.
Oh, he probably was faking.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't faking.
He wasn't faking.
No, he definitely wasn't faking. No, he's a sloppy drunk.
Got you. Oh, he's gonna get knocked out then.
Yeah.
So is this-
no, I don't think. I think he's not drinking before his fight.
Yeah. Hulk Hogan's gonna be there too.
Hulk Hogan's going to be there.
Wow.
By the way, Cody Rhodes is going to be there. Rey Mysterio is going to be there. I've had a couple. I think a couple of the artists like, yo, Rey Mysterio. We love Rey Mysterio. So like, it's we have 25 wrestlers coming. We've got the UFC champ coming. Alex Pereira. There's Holly Holmes coming. I mean, it's in every sport. We've got great people coming. But then the league activations are also amazing. Like, just, NBA set up there to have different skills competitions. NFL's got skills competitions, hockey, soccer. I think.
Wow.
By the way, punching. How hard can you punch the UFC bag? How hard can you slap? So it's going to be everything.
Thank you to Fanatics too. I do my back to school drive in my hometown of Moncks Corner every weekend. I don't even know if you know this, but Fanatics donated a bunch of backpacks.
I didn't know that, but whatever you guys need, we're always there for you guys because you guys are great friends of and family. So we're
And they
always
did
there
it
for you guys.
specific to like Carolina teams, so like the Gamecocks and the Hornets. And,
that's dope.
That's
Yeah,
fire.
so thank you.
I love that.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Yeah, I got to tell you who did it. I don't remember who did it. I'll tell you so you can get them.
They just know you guys need something.
Just
more.
to give him a raise.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, how does this differ from the white party, Michael Rubin?
So look, the white
This
part.
is way different.
You're not
Kids
invited.
can go there.
You're not invited to the white party, but
Yeah.
you're invited to this.
Rubin
Yeah.
invites me to everything.
Me too.
You guys are generally invited to everything. The one thing I'll say is like, look, I love bringing people together, and that comes from the way I learn. And the thing that people don't get about me, because everyone thinks I'm being self-deprecating, but I'm actually being serious. Like when you got a 780 combined on your SATs, you barely made it out of high school, you went to college for part of a semester, and you haven't read a full book since I haven't read a book since 9th grade.
That's nothing to brag about.
Okay, but it's honest. Okay, the truth.
And 720 on the SATs is pretty.
780 on SATs is pretty bad.
780 is pretty. It's,
Combined.
Oh,
It's
combined.
out of 1,600.
You say you're not the best learner.
Yeah, and so the way I learn is from people around me. So I'm much better to ask you questions. And so I love bringing people from different backgrounds together so we can all learn from each other. And that's the way I've always learned. I've always asked questions, not been afraid to ask whatever's on my mind. And so I think when I started the White Party, it was really about how do I, take this really diverse group of friends. Like I have friends of you could go from Robert Kraft, who owns the New England Patriots, to Travis Scott, to Meek, to commissioner of a sport, to a CEO of Airbnb or the CEO of Uber. So it's like bringing all these people together, and I love doing that. The thing with Fanatics Fest, it's this: how do you create this incredible sports gathering? And you don't have that other than actual games. And I think there's so many things that you can do at a Super Bowl or a MLB All-Star game or an NBA All-Star game for that each sport, but no one brings it all together. And then generally it's pretty hard to get the athletes, the artists, the players to come through and really support. So we try to do a bunch of special things like, Travis Scott's launching Cactus Jack exclusive trading cards at Fanatics Fest on Saturday. Those are going to be, and those cards, people are going crazy for those cards. I've never had more people hit me up and say, yo, how do I get those Cactus Jack MLB trading cards that you're launching at Fanatics Fest. So there's a lot of exclusive products as well. So it's really trying to just create lots of things for everybody. My goal, the test of this, like if we succeed, okay, will be at the end of the show, do the tens of thousands of fans that came say, we love being there, like this was awesome. Do the talent that came through say, hey, this actually wasn't something that we felt like we were forced to, we love doing it. And that right now I'm feeling that because people keep hitting me up and say, how can I get involved? How can I do more? And then do we take over social? I want the way the White Party takes over social. I want this to be Fanatics Fest needs to own the weekend. Thank God, great Olympics outcome. That's finished now. Got a bunch of people from the Olympics coming. Just heard a lot of the women's soccer team is going to be showing up as well, which is great. A lot of gold medals.
You're definitely going to dominate social. Then.
Absolutely.
I mean, when you have all of these different groups of people from, different industries, like everybody's going to be chatting about that.
And we got crazy stuff. Like the thing I'm most excited about, last night I was up till 2 a.m. with my team going through each and every stunt. Like we got stunts every hour. Like one of the cool things, when I went to this, the show that used to be in Atlantic City, was in Atlantic City, that was in Cleveland a few weeks ago, I saw two guys in full Oakland A's uniforms. And I called my guys up. I'm like, yo, everyone dresses for Comic-Con. How do we get everyone to dress for Fanatics Fest? And so literally I just went out and said, look, anyone who comes in a full team uniform or a super fan uniform, we're going to take the best dressed person each hour on the hour and bring them back to meet one of their, truly.
dope.
Oh, that's fire. That's
So
so smart.
someone comes in a Tom Brady outfit and they've got the helmet and the jersey and the pads and
Painted
and the
faces.
pants and everything. or they come in a crazy Patriots, we may bring them back to meet Tommy. Someone comes in a Peyton Manning outfit.
Or the cheeseheads or something. Yeah, that's
so
all.
What if 10 people do that?
You gotta pick the best
dressed
one.
each hour.
Okay, gotcha,
So we're
gotcha.
so we're gonna do it's basically 25, 30 people for the weekend, and we got 200 athletes there, so it can be easy for us to. And by the way, if we see crazy stuff, maybe we do more than one an hour. So it's just like creating those experiences. Think about if you're a diehard Julius Erving fan, and Julius Erving was the person you looked up to, and you come in a full Julius Erving outfit, and we bring you back to meet Dr. J. I mean, how cool is that? Or Allen Iverson, who's playing basketball with kids on Sunday. So we want to make sure we just create incredible experiences that nobody else can.
And I saw it says it's a sports combine.
Yeah, well, I
What
mean,
does that even mean?
well, because you've got each league is there, so you've got the NFL, the NBA, NHL, MLS, WWE, UFC, MLB, all there with activation. So you really be like I know a lot of the streamers are coming through, and people are talking a lot of shit right now about who's going to beat who in different competitions. Right now, I got money on Quavo. Not that he's a streamer, I got money. He's very athletic. He wins a lot of the athletic competitions. I got a lot of people saying things. It's gonna be fun. I think I told Aiden Ross he's gonna take a lot of abuse from a lot of people this weekend when he told me he was gonna come and show up strong in sports. So it's gonna be fun to see who shows strong and who has my athletic skills.
So it's not a real combine like people.
People are going to be doing
scouts there, and
no, but people are going to be doing the 40-yard dance. Like, I mean, you have old slow guys like me, and then you're going to have super fast, streamers that are tearing it up. So there's going to be a lot of competitions there.
How long is the fest? Because I know the white party is 13 hours.
So I specialize in long of it.
Yeah,
First of all, the white party is a test of seeing what you're made of, and I'll tell you,
people drink the full 13 hours.
Definitely.
Wow.
So the white party starts at 5 p.m. and it ended at 6 a.m. this year. And there were probably 300 people when it ended. And there was less than 400 people at the total party. So that means most people can...
Good retention.
Good resilience, I'd say.
Wow.
You train for it. The funny thing is, like, when Michael Parsons calls me and says, like, yo, man, I'm training for this. I'm getting into training. Like, people will call up and say, I'm training. I got to build my endurance up
There's
for this.
no reason to be at a party for 13 hours.
You know what? People would say they have such a great time. There's so many great people to say. And remember, it's 4 different parties within the party. So you start with, cocktails, and there's really a lot of good, I think, business things that come from that. So many, when you have CEOs of some of the best consumer companies together with, best artists, best athletes, together with just iconic business people, like a lot of things come from that. We've also created a lot of relationships out of there too. A lot of marriages, relationships.
I heard.
For sure.
With Donovan Mitchell and Coco Jones.
Well,
Tom Brady met a new girl.
I know Mo Bamba met his, I think now wife there.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, and I keep I read the rumors of what I see out there, people who met at the right place. So I love that. But even more the business relationships that come out of there, to me, there's so many great relationships that are started and created there, and that to me is like the test of, are we doing well? Are we helping people get to know each other? Are great business outcomes coming for them? And I love doing that. You see that? Look, you guys have all been to my Super Bowl party. You see that there, where a lot of great business opportunities come from that as well.
Do you so the business relationships come out of it, it's good vibes, but like when you see stuff online, like Drake was there this year and everybody was like, oh, they weren't allowed to play Not Like Us. Like, does that stuff bother you? And was that even true?
It was true. And look, for me, I'm always, I just don't think, Drake's my friend for a long time. I'm not going to invite him and then have, he's obviously going through, he's going through a little bit of battle right now. I'm not going to have him come there and
be in battle mode.
Yeah, I just didn't think it was I think it was appropriate. So I just sent a note. I said, hey, let's not play, anyone's music that's feuding with anyone that's there. I mean, look, you got.
But that was a you decision. It wasn't like Drake was like, don't play
that was
this.
a me decision.
Gotcha.
I just thought it was the appropriate thing. I will tell you, the day before we had a small barbecue for a few hours that was supposed to be 30 people, turned into 200 people and went for about 10 hours the night before. That was the pregame to the white party. And when they turned the music on, just like in my house, like they put Rap Caviar, and Not Like Us came on. It was like in the middle of Not Like Us. I'm like, get that off.
Drake was there?
He was pulling up soon.
Oh,
yeah.
So you had it on your playlist?
No, it wasn't on my
said
playlist.
Rap
It was Rap Caviar. Don't do that to him.
I see you trying to throw me under the bus like that.
Did you see the memes of your pictures with Drake, or you and Drake, and everybody was like, Drake looks so sad?
By the way, he had a great time. Look, you got. If there's one thing someone just said something to me on social media. You got to be built for social media. You got to be tough.
For real.
You got to take shit from people. One of the things people don't understand about my personality, I actually like the abuse. It doesn't bother me at all. You know, look, Drake is an iconic artist that we all have tremendous respect for. You know, obviously you can't, what I said to Drake, and I really believe this is a great test for him. Like, you can't get to where he's got to and not have people coming for you. I know, you know, I sleep with one eye open. I know right now, you know, we're in 3 businesses, people coming for me in every business every day. And that's part of, you know, with success comes, you know, more competition, more hatred. And, you know, the best people show why they're the best. And if you're not the best, you crack and you fall apart. So I think this is a great test for him. I think, you know, he's going to come out with, you know, lots of incredible music. And I think
Drake
people,
will be fine.
Right. I think people are going to say, that's why Drake is Drake.
I think
so
social
I
media-
like that test for him.
I think social media bothers you a little bit because one thing I did notice from the white party, I didn't see any hugs. There was no hugs from the back. I didn't see no hugs, Mike.
So
none.
no one was a bigger hugger than me. I will say, I pay attention to everything, and I decided people right or wrong. I think that was pathetic. I think it was a joke.
Oh, how they attack Lil Baby?
Yeah. Look, by the way, you know what I hate? When watching a black person try to take a black person down, that's fucked up. Okay, let's keep it real. Okay, Baby is one of the best human beings on the planet. There's not a person who will always do more for his community, who's a great human being, who works his ass off. And here's what happened with Baby. Baby did great, and then people came for him. Okay, and you know what happened? Then he comes out with more great music, and he shows why he's Baby. And so for me, it was one of the few things in my life that ate at me because I felt even though, like, look, the amount of people.
You were just showing them love, though. I mean, people were just making jokes. They knew what it was.
But let's keep this real. The amount of people who I've, in a 13-hour drunken party, okay, that I've jumped on their back and someone's caught a picture is like, I've done that 1,000 times. Now, I will tell you that, like, in my head, you know, that ain't happening anymore just because I won't, like, if it was me, I would think it's funny, but it actually hurt him a little bit for a year, and that ate at me. That did eat at me. But you know what, again, the one thing I'd say, when you're doing great, people try to test you. And I think that's a great, you know, I think that's a great character test. And I think Baby showed why he's him. Drake's going to show why he's him. And, you know, for me, last year was probably the first time people ever came at me. I've generally been, you know, I think people showed me a lot of love and support. And, you know, last year I realized, you know, Fanatics got a little bigger. I became a little more well-known. And so, hey, it's, you know, it's easy to try to pick at me for things. So, yes, I am a little more careful now.
Don't let nobody stop you from hugging people, Mike.
Listen, I'm bringing
hug
hugs.
as many people from the back as you want.
I've never seen you hug Jay-Z from the back. You never grabbed Jay from the back.
I've hugged first of all, I've hugged, if you get me really, I'm not a,
don't tell him you hug Jay-Z from the back.
I'm
Don't do
a
it.
hugger.
And I'm trying to
drunk, I'll
protect
hug
you.
any man from
I'm
the
a
back.
hugger.
Yes,
like, I am a hugger.
He-
Are you saying,
don't
Mike,
let
you
him
said if
bait
you
you.
get drunk, you'll hug any man from the back is what you're saying.
Let me tell you something. If you jump up, let me
Michael
ask you a
Rubin,
question.
look at me.
I'm looking at you right now.
Don't engage with
Listen,
him right now.
all I'm going to say to you,
We hug each other from the back, so don't worry about it, Mike.
I believe in hugging. You know what? I want to spread love all the time. And I
that.
mean this. And you know, hugs are about love. And you know,
That's right.
I love Baby, and I love my friends. You know, I'm lucky to have so many great friends around me. So yes, when I see you, you are getting a drunken hug one time, and you know you're gonna like it, and because we're fans, okay? And you know what? And that's
remember that night we was out.
Yeah, but hold on. That's affection. That's just respect for you because I have so much respect and love for you. And you know, when someone starts trying to say that's not love, that's fucking bullshit. Okay, you know what that is? That's just people want to hate on each other and trying to take people down.
Miserable
and I don't
people.
actually accept that. Okay,
right.
We was
what I
at
accept
that
is love.
restaurant after Jay-Z's museum thing last year, and you was drunk, and you came with me, and I said, "Don't you even think about it."
No means no.
But it was still fresh then. Was it? Did I then hug you or not?
You did hug me. Absolutely.
Perfect. Exactly.
Charlamagne hugs me from the
You
back all
violated
the
my
time,
boundaries.
so it's nothing.
Yeah,
Right.
witnessed it.
And by the way, the amount of incredible, iconic athletes that have jumped on my back and given me hugs in moments. I mean, that was like someone just caught a picture of that. And by the way, I told Kuz, I was with Kuz a couple nights ago. It was his blue hair. That was the thing that really screwed. It was, you know, if you didn't have that blue hair, that was what killed the whole thing. It was the picture. It was me, Baby, and Kuz, and like it was probably like 1/10 of 1 second that someone caught the picture, and then it got out there. And you know, but anyway, look, to me,
Mike, we just joking. You hug whoever you want to
No,
hug from the
but
back.
all kidding aside, I want to spread love all the time, and people should hug each other all the time. People shouldn't say, "Oh, it's not cool if someone gave someone a drunken hug." And what sucks is that it actually did hurt Baby for a period of time. And that's the fucked up thing. And that's the thing that I don't like.
What do you mean by hurting? Like he was upset about it, or
a
like?
meme.
I mean, the meme.
No,
Baby used to that. He go
Baby
viral all
wasn't
the
one
time.
bit upset about it because he's tough and he's built for it.
Yeah, he go viral all the time.
Yeah, but it's just like people took it was just a way of like saying, "Oh, Baby ain't right," "Oh, he's this," or "It's all bullshit." It's just people. It's people that want to hate with success. And to me, I want everyone around me to do great. Nothing's gonna make me happier than you guys doing great. You guys killing it in everything you do. That's how we all push each other up, and so that's how we all learn from each other and grow together.
Yeah.
And so I think you just gotta like push aside that negativity.
They do the same thing with Meek when they keep bringing up the bunny hopping. They say you made him do the bunny
So
hop.
by the way, let's talk about that. There's nobody who's been more tortured this year than Meek. Talk about the Diddy thing. Now, I know Meek really, really well, and I've never been to a Diddy party. He's never been to one of my parties in my life. Okay.
What happened to spread love?
He's never been to one of my party. Not a Super Bowl, not All Star, not All White.
That's so funny.
He said that up immediately.
But I want to get this out there. Okay. Meek, I know that guy really, really well. Okay. Everyone going around trying to say, and by the way, if he was gay, who cares? There's not a gay bone in his body. You guys know him. Like, I know him. I've been around him more than anybody. Okay? For people to just, like, the internet, like one of my best friends said to me, I think Meek's gay now. I'm like, why? You know what I say? Because I've read it 10,000 times. There's not a gay bone in that guy's body. So it's like, why do people want to bring somebody down? Why do people want to hate on somebody? Why does someone go lie on somebody? And by the way, talk about the bunny hops. Okay. Now you're talking about the most unathletic person in planet Earth is Michael Rubin. I pride myself on that. And why do by the way, why do I put the funny videos out making fun of myself? Because I want people to know, you know what? You could suck at sports and be the person who was picked last all the time. You can be the person that was terrible in school. Remember, I barely graduated high school. Okay. And then you can work your ass off and be great in business. So I'm trying to show people do what you're great at and excel in that.
Right.
Okay. But so now Meek says to me, we're in the Bahamas. He's there with his family. I'm there with my family 4 or 5 years ago. Okay. And Meek's learning tennis, and I'm pretty shitty at tennis, so we play a tennis game. Now, this was one pathetic athletic event. Like, if you want to see, like, two horrible tennis players going at it, somehow it was very close. And so Meek says to me at the beginning of the game, he says, what do you want to bet? I'm like, what do you want to bet? Like, I'm not generally I don't want to ever take money from my friends or like bet money, but if they want to, he's like, let's do push-ups. I'm like, great, 50 push-ups, great. He said, actually, let's do bunny hops. I said, what's a bunny hop? He said, how do you know
So it
what
was
a
Meek's
bunny hop?
idea. Meek said, do the
100%.
Because Meek thought he was going to win.
So Meek's like, you go like this. He's teaching me what a bunny hop is. I never saw it before. Okay? So I don't know. I'm literally, I'm going like this.
That's one of those things you learned in person.
He's going
Yep.
like no, it's like this.
Right.
Like this. He said, we do them in jail all the time.
Stop.
Come in jail all the time.
Right. So I didn't even know what I'd never heard of a bunny hop before.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
So now we do it then. When I put it out, of course, because I was making fun of him because I had no idea what people would turn this into. I put it on my story, just making fun of him. Like, yeah, I kicked your ass in tennis. Like, it's fun. I actually won something in sports, like almost a miracle. I should have had a celebration. Okay. No one says a thing then. 5 years later, people want to, now it's the turn, you know what, who we're going to hate on this much. So let's hate on Meek. Oh, Meek's gay because some guy made up a lie. Okay. So let's hate on him for that and just try to change the narrative. And, white billionaire telling, black men to do bunny hops. Actually, he told me to do bunny hops. It was his bet, and I'm sorry that he sucked in tennis that day. Okay, let's keep it real. So, like, that stuff
should have played a black sport. He'd have beat you.
In everyone, by the way.
Yes.
But probably any sport other than skiing, which is obviously a white sport. That's the only sport I could probably get him in. But, the thing I don't like about that is it doesn't bother me for me. It bothers me that it actually, when I see the narrative of a really good friend of mine like Meek, and people trying to, again, if he was gay, which there's not one gay bone in his body, who cares? Number one, if people want to be gay, it is 2024. Who the fuck cares? Okay. Number two, there's not a gay bone in his body. So like, why do people want to lie about that? Why do people want to change a narrative, a bet he made with me to try to hurt him? Like, that is the one thing I've learned about, and look, I'm just being blunt because it's me. It's the one thing I've learned about black culture that I don't like is that black hate on hate.
Speak on that more. I heard you say that earlier, and I wanted you to expound on that. You said you don't like to see black people tearing down other black people.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Okay.
Like it's horrible. Like I want to support look, you guys know me pretty well. Anything I can ever help with, I'm always there. I always want to be helpful. I feel lucky and fortunate to do what I do every day. To be as, whatever success I've had, I feel blessed to do that. And I want to give back in every way I can. In business and in charitable things, I'm always trying to be helpful. Like, why does someone want to bring somebody else down? Let's try to build everybody up. Like, I'd be more excited if I'd be more excited to see one of my friends do something that's 99% less meaningful to me, but it would be really meaningful to them because I want them to do great. I want everyone around me to do great. I don't like watching, there's a little bit, and you tell me, you guys correct me if you think I'm wrong. I think there's a little bit of a black culture of like, it's black hate on hate. It's like that black judge that Meek had that hated on him and wanted to go extra hard on him. Okay, it's like it's what people always say to me. It's like black hate on hate. So I think it's terrible. I think it's something that I think it's culturally wrong. And I'll probably get killed for saying this because,
I'm glad you're saying it openly. If this is the conversations that are being had.
I have it all the time. With
I want to hear this.
Yeah, so I think it's wrong. I think, why do you not want to build everyone up around you? Why do you not want everyone around you to do great? The best way for everyone to do great is to push each other up, okay? I'm always pushing everyone around me. It's why I spend, a quarter of my days helping other people because I want them to do great. And by the way, it's why people always, if you think about this, no one ever came at me before last year. Okay, last year we had the bunny hops you brought up. You brought up the
hugging little baby from the back,
right? Okay, which are each completely made up. None of these things had any real, they weren't real. They were made up to hurt people. Okay, yet everyone still comes out for me because they're real, authentic relationships, and I want to help everyone in every way I can. So to me, if I could say one thing. Let's everyone go out with a positive energy, try to make everyone do great around us and build people up. Let's not try to bring people down. You don't do better by taking your competition down. You do better by pushing everyone up together. You want all the wind behind your back.
So when you see black people tearing other black people down in your mind, you'd be like, I would never do business with that person because of how they treat their own people?
Well, I don't see I don't really see the people I'm around tearing people down. What I see is the conversations that we have about people trying to tear them down. And I think even if—
Because Meek brings that up a lot.
Meek doesn't bring it up a lot, but I'll bring it up to Meek and be like, look, when you grow up the way Meek did, you grow up the way Baby did, these guys are tough, okay? You grow up, you didn't even think you were going to make it to the age you are today. You're coming out of a pretty violent background. I think you feel fortunate, but I think the reality is they're aware that there's a lot of hate that comes with their success. Even if someone's trying to get out of, I grew up in a ruthless environment and, I'm trying to improve the people that are around me. It's then the people that, you grew up with, they're mad. They want to take you down because you don't have the same people around you. How about you want to grow and you expand? And it doesn't mean you don't want to help the people around you. Meek does so much for his community, a completely different situation, but Baby does so much for his community. So that whole thing really does bother me. Because I think it's wrong and I think it's culturally hurting the outcome of the black community. I think it would be much better if everyone tried to push each other up.
Are there examples of that in the white community?
Let's keep it. Look. I'm Jewish. I'm not remotely religious.
Oh, okay, in the Jewish community, are there examples of that?
I'm not remotely religious. Okay, it's just who I am. Never have been. Okay, but the hate toward Jewish people now, it's horrible, and it does not affecting. I feel more bad for my daughter. You see she's going to USC next year. And you have, you have situations where people can't even get into their college because they're, Cornell in New York, not in New York City, Columbia in New York City, literally couldn't even control and make it safe for Jewish students to be there. Why is this good? This is horrible. We all want to bring people together. By the way, why do I want to do Fanatics Fest? Because I want to bring tens of thousands of sports fans together. Why is sports great? Because it brings community together. Hate is bad. Any type of hate sucks. It's why my dear friend Robert Kraft started the Blue Square to eliminate hate. If you'd say in life, if we could just get people to always support each other, get rid of hate, that's, why is this all this killing all the time? It's from hate. And so, I have a lot of conversations about it.
In the Jewish community, do you guys support each other more? Do you see more support?
I think in most communities, other than, I think in most communities, people are pretty just support, I support everyone around me. I don't care, black, white, purple, yellow, gay, I don't care. I'm going to support everyone around me. That's the way I've always been built, to push everybody up, to push everyone around me. I think that's generally great for me. I think most communities do it that way. I mean, you tell me, do you think I'm right or wrong about, be honest?
I mean, listen, it's uncomfortable to hear you say it as a Jewish man, right? But I can't say that you're wrong. That's why, but one thing I always say, when I'm talking about what we call Uncle Toms, I always say all of these Uncle Tom black men think white people like that, and they don't. They think like people that are in white people, Jewish people, whoever in positions of power, they think that they like the sellouts amongst us, and they don't. They don't like to see a black person selling out another black person. I say that all the time, right? Yeah. So I was going to ask you about there's a guy named Sid Rosenberg who called Vice President Kamala Harris's husband a bad Jew. So when you hear language like that, is that the same as, is that self-hate amongst Jewish people?
I don't know any of the background to it. I didn't even know her husband was Jewish until you just told me.
But you've heard that term before, though. You've heard somebody call somebody a bad Jew?
I think people have told me I'm a bad Jew. The people tell me I'm not doing enough for the Jewish community. You know, people say to me, "Oh, you do so much for the black community. You start the Reform Alliance. You spend so much money, time, and energy to, you know, fix the probation parole system. Why haven't you done more for the Jewish community?" You know, for me, I was always great at giving money away. I never did the work. And then when obviously, and you guys know the story so well, when, you know, Meek went to prison for not committing a crime, and I'm sitting in that courtroom and watching what was a really close friend of mine, you know, get sent to 2 to 4 years prison for popping and wheeling on a motorcycle. That was the most out of control I ever felt in my life, because I'm used to, in business, being able to, you know, control my own destiny. And I think that's when my whole perspective changed, of like really having to not just give money, but really make a difference. And I think that's when, you know, once he got out, we started the Reform Alliance. Now we have this giant Make-A-Wish partnership, which everyone's so excited about, where we do every sports wish. We help to make it better and crazy, to get the athletes really involved, to make the wishes great for the kids. And like, we love giving back. I get told I'm a bad Jew all the time, because they're like, hey, people say you've only posted 10 times about what's going on. But to me, you have to do things that are authentic. I got so emotionally involved in fixing probation and parole once I saw how fucked up the system was. And so I'm honored to do that. You also can't do all things to all people. Make-A-Wish, the way I got sucked into it, was actually amazing. I really didn't, everyone knows of Make-A-Wish, but I didn't really know how it worked. And a kid had a wish to do something at the Sixers. And he wanted to sit courtside at the Sixers. And so I set up from his courtside at the Sixers, and we were playing the Orlando Magic like 3 or 4 years ago, probably 3 years ago. I said to the kid, look, Matt, you know, after we beat the Magic, I'm going to bring you in the locker room to meet Joel, meet James, meet everybody. And the Magic at that point sucked. They were like one of the worst teams in the NBA. And, of course, we lost to the Magic. It was really embarrassing. So I went in the locker room. I said to Joe and James, I said, hey, I'm bringing this kid from Make-A-Wish into the locker room. And they said, like, we just lost against the Magic. Don't bring a fucking person in the locker room. I said, no, I'm bringing him. Anyway, of course, I didn't listen. I brought this kid in the locker room. The team probably spent 45 minutes with this kid. And literally that night, Joe hit me, James hit me, Tobias Harris hit me, Maxie, but they're all like, yo, that puts everything in perspective. Like, seeing this kid, listening to his story, right. You know, like, man, that really, like, thank you for doing that. We then called the CEO of Make-A-Wish and said, we want to be the exclusive person to do all of your sports wishes. We love stuff like that. So again, for me, you have to do things that are authentic. Like, we can't do a lot of things, but like, you know, when I get called a bad Jew, does it bother me a little bit? Yes. Because I think I'm doing everything that's comfortable for me, but I can't also fight every fight. Like, we spent a lot of time on probation and parole reform. We spent a lot of time on Make-A-Wish. And, you know, I work 17 hours a day at Fanatics, which is, you know, my part-time job.
Do you miss owning the 76ers at all? Do you miss that job?
No. I'll tell you why. I think when we did the Sixers deal in 2011, I was in a different part of my life, and I think Fanatics was way less established, and I think we were a much smaller company. It went from, in the early days, helping the growth of Fanatics and it was kind of like a little bit of a business development platform, and then I learned so much from the Sixers, and I was able to really help in a meaningful way. As Fanatics got a lot bigger, now we have thousands of deals with individual athletes, which are prohibited by all the leagues. We're now in the betting business, which is prohibited to take bets on your own team. It was really in the way of Fanatics' growth, and so selling the stake in the Sixers allowed me to just take Fanatics to the next level. And on top of that, I'll tell you, I don't think there could be a bigger opportunity for me in my life. When I look at where Fanatics is today, and I feel like I'm just getting started with it, and I look at, like, I just watched the Nike movie like a year ago, Nike Air, and you look at that and you're like, he's 87 today. Okay, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. Like, my opportunity is massive, and I have so much gratification and satisfaction of working around, you know, hundreds of millions of incredible sports fans, incredible athletes, and, you know, to get to spend time with guys like you, it's like it's such a fun job. I don't want anything to be in the way of it. I also will tell you that my relationships with everyone is so much cleaner now, because I think before I felt like guys who I was friends with would still look at me a little bit different. Like, you know, Book, or Jason Tatum, or they when I owned the Sixers, I felt like there was just always a little bit. Hey, it's my going for
You're
the
the
Sixers.
Sixers guy.
Now it's kind of like everyone knows I'm just their guy, and we have an authentic relationship, and
right.
so and by the way, we do a lot of business with a lot of these guys too. They're significant partners, so it really cleaned up the relationship. And
Does it ever get to you when people say stuff like, because you seem like such a nice guy, that like, why are all these artists flinging to this white guy, or like, why do they want to support this white guy? Like, especially because they show up for you so much.
Yeah, so I didn't even know that narrative till about a year ago. So I'd say in the last year was an adjustment for me, because I went from, I'd say, up until a year ago, it was all love to me all the time. And then the white party took on a life of its own. Fanatics got a lot bigger. We got in multiple businesses. And so then you had, someone start that narrative on the bunny hops. You had someone start the narrative on you baby with the hugs. And so then I started asking questions, like, because I was oblivious to it all. Okay, and people told me that narrative was out there. So I think what I always want to do is be super aware and make sure that I'm always doing so much for everybody to make sure that like they feel like the relationship is great for them. And so I'd say I'm more sensitive to make sure that no one, I don't want to ever do anything with somebody that's not great for them. I'd say I'm more sensitive to make sure I'm doing that today. Like someone just told me something a couple weeks ago, like, hey, one person who doesn't like me because they don't get invited to the white party is telling people, well, all these people perform for Michael. So I'm making sure, like, hey, I don't want you to perform unless you really want to perform. And by the way, I'm always trying to help you. There's so many businesses. If you think about it, like, look at Jay-Z. He's an investor in Fanatics. We own Fanatics Sportsbook together. We own Mitchell Ness together. Look at Travis. We're doing the collabs together. Look at Meek. He was an investor in Lids. By the way, Meek's single best investment in his life. Hope I won't get in trouble for saying this, but he put $200,000 in the Lids and got $8 million back.
Wow.
Okay.
Go ahead, Meek. Shout out to Meek.
Yeah. So like I always want my friends to do great, and I'm always working to do things that are great for my friends. So does it bother me? Look, I am the most thick-skinned individual you'll meet. I mean, I'm the most self-deprecating person. I love to make fun of myself. Like when I put out the baseball thing and show how uncoordinated I am, and everyone makes fun of me, I think it's funny. Does it hurt me a little bit if it's hurting somebody else? Yes. That's what I'm aware of. I think like, if I want everything I do to be great for people. I don't ever want to do anything but help people.
I read somewhere that you were trying to sell a stake in Fanatics too?
Completely made up.
That wasn't true. Okay.
By the way, it's crazy now that I've learned about, and look, you guys deal with this because when you get more well-known, people just make narrative. How many times has anyone ever said anything about you that's completely untrue?
A million
times. So somebody reaches out and says, hey, we heard that you turned off your IPO, that you were going to go public and you're now not going public, and also that you're selling $1 billion in your company. So we've never even had a discussion about going public. Will we eventually go public? Most likely. Have we had one discussion with one bank about it? Not one. Okay. And by the way, we told them we've had no discussions about going public. We've had no discussions about selling, $1 billion. It's just completely made up. You know what they said? But you just did the white party's great clickbait. We're running the story anyway. We got a source.
Wow. Wow.
Okay.
Shout
out to the New York Post, who I generally love.
Wow.
They just ran the story.
BS.
Completely made up.
After they asked.
And we told them it was completely untrue.
One more thing I want to talk to you about. Speak to us about the role Governor Shapiro played just in Pennsylvania. Like, I love all of the things that he's doing with probation reform and criminal justice reform, but a lot of that started because you, when he was AG, got him on the Meek case. I like Governor Shapiro a lot, by the way.
So first of all, I hate politics. I don't ever want to be involved in politics. I think it's just bad, okay? Because generally politics can't get anything done, and people just fight over everything. So I generally try to stay away from politics. That's it. I love Josh Shapiro, okay? Josh Shapiro, I met when he was the county commissioner of the county I live in. And he was trying to get to me. I was trying to avoid him like the plague because I don't want to be around anyone in politics. And I think I actually wrote a $25,000 donation to not have to meet with him, okay? And then he asked my chief of staff, could he have a meeting in my office one day? And he walked by me in the hallway and started having a conversation. I'm like, oh, this guy's actually really smart. And so I've known him for a long time. Josh gets 100% of the credit. I called Josh the day when Meek got sentenced to 2 to 4 years in prison in November, I think it was 12th of 2017. I called the governor of Pennsylvania, he was attorney general of Pennsylvania, and the mayor of Philadelphia. I thought this would be easy. By the way, getting a black person out of jail, that shit is not easy.
Who you telling?
Michael?
Yeah.
Tell us more.
That shit is not easy.
Tell us other things we don't know.
So I was saying that in a sarcastic way. Maybe my delivery wasn't good. But so I called him guys, he didn't do anything. He popped a wheel in a motorcycle. Like, you got to let him out. The governor's like, well, I don't have the rights to let him out. The attorney general, like, Josh originally said to me, don't get involved in this. This will be bad for you. And I said, Josh, I love you. You're wrong. Okay? And by the way, if you go back to November of 2017, every single person I knew said, don't get involved in supporting Meek. The only people that stood up for him was Jay and Dez and me. Everyone else said, stay the fuck away from the situation. It will be. And by the way, Sixers fans were canceling season tickets because of this. Okay? I was getting destroyed.
It's
November,
so crazy because
December.
it seemed like online, like the support was so big.
Not in the first month or two. What happened was we hired like 30 investigators who actually went out and found out that the judge was crooked, okay? That actually the people that arrested him originally, he used to always say to me, Meek would always say to me, Michael, if a black man points a gun at a police officer, that's called suicide, okay? And I never thought about it because he said it to me, like he always wanted to prove to me that he never pointed the gun at people. I'm like, Meek, I don't give a shit what you did when you were 19 years old. Who cares? You're a different person. And so anyway, we hired the investigators. The investigators proved, the first cop came forward and said, no, he never pointed the gun. The whole thing's a lie. We were stealing drug dealers' money. It was like, we were like training day. This cop told us. We said, we signed an affidavit. He said, yes. That's ultimately how the case got overturned. So Josh then turned and said, Michael, you were right. Get him out of prison. But when you get him out of prison, you have to make this about something much more than Meek. So Josh gave us the original idea to start the Reform Alliance. It didn't come from me, didn't come from Jay, didn't come from Robert Kraft, didn't come from Meek. It came from Josh Shapiro. Okay. Now Josh said you gotta fix the probation parole system. That's how we got the idea. And then obviously, you're starting on home plate when you start something with Jay-Z, Desiree, Meek, Robert Kraft, myself. I mean, it's a pretty good group of people to start something with. So it was very funded and a lot of strong personalities. Watching Josh's development has been amazing for me. I mean, watching him go from county commissioner to attorney general to governor. I think in Pennsylvania, I'm told he has like the highest, he has
61%,
which I don't think you could have
approval rating, or something like that.
Right, which you don't get that. Politics, you're lucky to get 51%, right? So he's incredibly, I think, supported in Pennsylvania, and I think he's really capable. I mean, I'm almost relieved that they didn't pick him for VP because I'll have nothing to do with this election now. And had it been him, it's my guy. I would have had to support it in a meaningful way just because of my strong personal affiliation.
I was disappointed at first that he
epic.
didn't get picked as the VP, but Tim Walz seems solid.
Yeah, and look, a lot of people say he didn't get picked because he was Jewish, and I think that's, I think if that's really the reason, that sucks. But you know what that means? We all just got to bring people together. Like, you guys have this amazing show. I think one of the things you guys can do with the show is bring people together. Okay, I think that's one of my responsibilities. Like, look, I do have. I suck at a lot of things. I'm a decent leader, so I should help bring people together. So, to me, I think,
I don't think he wanted to get the gig. I think he feels like his job's not done in Pennsylvania.
Well, I talked to him a couple of nights before. I was in Europe, and I had a long conversation with him, and I knew I think he's a very, he believes he'll do the right thing for his country, and he loves what he's doing in Pennsylvania. But if the country decided that he was the right person, I think he would have been comfortable to step up and do that. Gotcha. But I think he's incredibly, excited about what he's going to do in Pennsylvania. And, for me, I just have so much respect for him, even though, again, I'll say this 100 times, I hate politics.
So you think he didn't get it because he was Jewish?
I mean, it's what people say. It's what people are saying to me. He didn't say that to me. I don't follow this stuff. Like, I'm not, I'm someone who's born Jewish. I'm just not religious. I'm not embarrassed of that either. Like, my sister's actually a cantor in the Jewish religion. So you have me who's,
she's a cancer?
Cantor. That means she's like a, she sings on stage.
Got you.
So, and she's very religious. I'm not religious at all. But what I like to do is, like, again, learn from everybody around me. And, I have heard that narrative a lot. And, like, I hate this, we should get rid of all self-hate, of all culture. We should bring everyone together. Like, we want the whole, like, let's flourish. Like, I think America's the greatest country in the fucking planet. Okay? And so we're all blessed to be here, and we have so much opportunity. And did you ever dream that you'd be doing this 20 years ago? I mean,
yes.
Okay, well, you're doing amazing. You guys are all doing amazing. Okay? And you guys are going to keep doing more amazing. And,
absolutely.
When I came on the show with you on Comedy Central, it was like, this guy's built to do this. And, like, it's just so, like, we're all so lucky in what we do, and we just got to bring everyone with us.
I agree with
the
you.
world has your optimism.
That's right.
Always. By the way, I wake up like that, go to bed like that, never drank a sip of coffee in my life.
Well, this weekend,
Fanatics Fest.
Fanatics Fest. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. What are the times? What are the prices? How can people buy tickets?
You go to Fanatics Fest site. General admission tickets $50. That's what most people will buy, and come from open to close and just have the time of your life. There's going to be so many fun things. 200 great athletes. So many great stunts. All the league activations. I want to see you guys. Who's coming? You guys coming?
Am I gonna be here this weekend?
I won't be there Saturday
You
because
can come on Friday.
I will come on.
No, I'm
I'm gonna try
gonna be
to
this
bring my
weekend.
Sunday on Sunday.
Yeah, I might pull up one day. Why not?
I'm not
Yeah,
like really
and
a
you-
sports person.
But so come
Listen
hang
to
at the food. We love to have you guys at the
everybody.
food.
Okay.
We love to have you guys at the food.
Artists.
I'm
you got a
down.
bunch
You
of
got. It's
people.
gonna be a bar there, like the white party.
40-40 popped up
Oh,
in the middle of it.
I'm going.
Okay,
Yep,
we'll
I'm
get
in.
you. We'll get the three of you guys set for that.
The way
It's
my
gonna be great.
anxiety be set up though, those type
We're
of events be a bit
going.
much.
Come on, everybody, put your hands in. We're
Let's go,
going.
let's go.
Come
Yeah,
on,
can we touch
come
on
on.
something,
Yeah,
man?
come on.
Hold
Come
on.
on. No.
Charlamagne don't like people.
Yeah, I mean, I
He
do.
actually
I just,
does like people. He just tries to talk shit. He does like people.
No, he don't.
wouldn't do what he does.
He don't.
He does.
I do. I just
couldn't
don't-
do what he does if he didn't like people.
Is it 13 hours long though? You never answered that one.
Jesus
That
Christ.
one is 9:30 a.m. till 7 p.m. So it's actually like halftime.
Okay.
White party is a much bigger test of your resilience. But then we do this 3 days.
Got you.
No, we did the pre-party at
I'm
the
down
white
to pop
party.
out.
I want you guys there.
Go
Come
team.
on.
Pop it out.
Hold on. What are you wearing?
Huh?
I need you to come in uniform. Let's go, baby.
I'm wearing whatever keeps you from hugging me from the back. Okay. This
Yeah,
guy.
go right
I
there.
knew it. I knew it.
You got the picture? There we go right there. There we go.
Listen.
All right.
Let's go.
Get a picture.
Let's go. Now, was that uncomfortable? Hold on. I'm giving you one, too.
Oh, come on.
From the back. Let's go.
I had the chair as protection.
Yeah, the chair
It was like a
protection.
condom.
Go. Oh, you're most comfortable.
Yours look like it hurt.
Michael Rubin, y'all.
Let me try. Let me see. Let's go.
Oh, okay.
Let's give it. All right,
No.
Come on. There you go. There you go.
What is this, a DP?
I mean, it's called being comfortable with yourself.
Yeah, I know that's right.
All right, we just had a threesome up here. Michael Rubin.
Let's go, baby.
Oh
the
my
Breakfast
God, I
Club.
watched.
You did.
Ew.
It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.